A few weeks ago, I've been thinking about how I could have improved my delivery, simplified topics, or developed certain thoughts further. I'm being overly self-critical because I want to be the best at what I do. Today, I'm sharing exercises that help me think clearly and speak confidently. Number 1 is post-speech analysis, because we can't improve what we don't track or analyze. Just like a great athlete reviews their game, identifies strengths and weaknesses, and refines their moves, we need to do the same. Whenever you're one-on-one, in a Zoom meeting, on stage communicating ideas, or even alone, ask yourself which sentences you stumbled on and what the correct response should have been. I was just dragging along because I was so nervous and writing down every leak in your speech. Question yourself on the pattern of your mistakes, and what we need to do here is to increase our CPS. What is CPS? Consciousness per sentence, meaning how present I am with each sentence. Are my words the same as those I would automatically say? Or I'm consciously choosing those words? Number 2, ask yourself questions while you develop an idea. I've noticed that whenever we need to talk about something for which we have some ideas but haven't prepared a proper answer, in such situations, if you rush, you'll either get stuck or you won't say what you intended to say, you'll say something else and later regret it. The common advice in such situations is to take a pause for 30 seconds or a minute, take a pause, and just think about what you want to say. Many times, when developing an idea, it takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or even more, and you can't stay quiet at such times, so the best thing to do at such times is to let whatever answer you need to prepare marinate in your mind's corner, and meanwhile, question yourself about your relationship with this topic. For example, if someone asks you whether after the age of 18, you should live with your parents or follow Western ideals and move out to become self-reliant, at such times, instead of speaking like an idiot without thinking, keep your main answer aside and let it prepare in your mind so that you can connect the dots and come up with a good answer. Give it some time, and meanwhile, ask yourself, what is my relationship with this question? You can also question yourself about what I'm feeling, what I'm prepared for this answer, and you can express it when someone asks you what you think about money or what you think about that political event someone is asking about. If the proper answer isn't ready in such a situation, you can say that whenever I get this question, I become quite emotional, or my childhood experiences were like this. And the benefit here is that just because you're expressing your emotions, it's very instant and nice. Emotions are like fruits, you just pluck, cut, and serve them. But the thoughts we have, they can only be completed when your main idea is fully developed. Number 3, talk to and be around articulate people. That's why your communication skills are so polished, because the speech of everyone around you isn't that special. And this is a very active skill, meaning if you're not actively talking to people around you, you're not communicating, you're not giving space, you're not participating in heavy intellectual debates, you're not engaging in English, then your skill will never develop. And if you're thinking that I just read a book or take communication courses, then that's not enough. Think about it. If you're just reading a book on how to drive a car, is that the same as actually driving a car? Similarly, many people who need to learn English speak it. They want to learn how to speak fluently in English, but what are they doing? They're making the same mistake. They'll learn from movies or take a course, but until you actually talk to those people who are better English speakers than you, nothing will happen. Until you're not practicing, you're not progressing. But if there's no one around you with whom you can openly talk in English, then there's no progress. If you're not practicing, you're not progressing. But if there's no one around you with whom you can openly talk in English, then there's no progress. Or you suddenly become very conscious. Number 4, practice thought retention. Retention on the internet is the most common type of retention. Let's talk about whether we have any healthy habits or not. We can't stay consistent with anything if we can't write down our thoughts. Writing down thoughts means I can hold on to a thought, an idea, a motivation, or a goal without getting distracted by anything else. Otherwise, you'll try to say anything, but your speech will flow like water, and you won't even realize it. And there won't be any sense in that thing because consistently you're getting distracted by other things, and you couldn't build depth in your speech. On the other side, any professional speaker knows what they're doing. They catch a thought and slowly peel off its layers to show us what you were thinking. Its depth is only so much. We can make this topic deeper, relate it to other topics, and you must have noticed this thing too. How many people can talk about a small topic for hours or write a whole book on it? How do they manage to do this? They can do this because they sit with a problem. But what do? We're afraid that if we sit with a problem for so long, then whatever scares us they will go away. We're afraid to look under the bed because it's dark there. We fear reaching the deep roots of any thought because roots are in the dark. This is a subconscious primal urge to articulate our speech more and become more intelligent. If you want to make your speech more articulate and intelligent, then number 5, know your value system. I've noticed something within myself that I'm most articulate when I'm in an easily flow state. I reach this state when I'm speaking the truth and not hiding anything, because if there's fear of judgment within me about what others will think of my truth, then what will I do? I'll assign my mind a task to keep all my shortcomings, flaws, and the dirty parts of my story hidden from others, and my mind will be using so much cognitive load to hide these things. If I have 100% RM, then only 50 will be used on my shortcomings, my shame, and the dirty parts of my story to keep these things hidden, and I will be left with only 50% of my intelligence. Imagine what will happen then. I will sound dumb. That's why whenever we see a fake person, we understand that something is wrong here. We don't vibe well with that person because there's a mismatch between their being and their speech. The things they are and the things they say don't match, and that doesn't make sense to us. We realize that their value system is hiding something real, which is hiding behind layers. So, to make the flow from thoughts to speech smooth like butter, never lie, never hide your true opinions, never be politically correct, be respectful, but never pretend to be something else. Accept your true story, accept your flaws, because that's your real, and if you accept it, this thing will work in your favor because you'll know exactly what's your starting position, what are your disadvantages, and you can develop that area of your life so much that you can balance out your disadvantages.